Well, it was absolutely excellent. I did get a kick out of you. Probably the only governor I know that actually declared a Rolling Stones Day. So I kind of
Well, I'm the only governor that ever bodyguarded them.
Right.
And in fact, since we're on the internet, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, I can give you the quote then. The fun quote was, when the Stones were very honored, Mick Jagger said nobody had ever done that for him before, declared Rolling Stones Day in a state and all this, and Keith Richards walked up to me that night, and he looked at me in that Cockney accent, and he said, "So you used to bodyguard us in 78 and 81, and I said, "Yes." And he said, "And now you're the governor." And I said, "Yes." He goes, "Fucking great." which I really enjoy Keith Richards the most, because to me he's the heart and soul of the Rolling Stones.
Right, but like I said, being part of the '60s generation, with the Rolling Stones Day and then the Indivisible Day, I was cracking up through so much of this book, and I was like, wow, this guy's great.
Well, remember on the one photo where I said, "This is the reason I can never become the president."
Right.
Because at my inauguration, I wore a fringe jacket, do-rags, I put my earrings in, sunglasses, and wore one of my vintage Jimi Hendrix T-shirts. And I was at the Capitol about 2 weeks after the inauguration, and this huge box arrived. Excuse me, and I opened it up, and it was probably 25 Jimi Hendrix T-shirts that I'd never seen before, every one of his CDs, all of his paraphernalia on Jimi Hendrix, and it was from the Jimi Hendrix Foundation. They had apparently saw the picture or seen it in Rolling Stone or whatever, and they sent a beautiful letter, and they said, "Governor, if you ever need anything concerning Jimi Hendrix, don't hesitate to contact us." So I've got more Jimi Hendrix T-shirts now than I could possibly wear.
Oh, that's so cool. Jesse, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. It's an honor to get to talk to you.
My pleasure, Meria. It's an honor to speak with someone who's not going to attack me, and allow me to speak my mind and say what I want to say.
Hey, you're welcome back anytime at all. It'll be fun to have you back on the show.
Thanks. I look forward to it, and maybe we can do it after I get home May 15th, but I'm off to Mexico tomorrow. I got to start catching some more waves.
Okay, hola. Hola, my friend.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye, Meria.
Bye now. Jesse Ventura, how cool is that? So, for people that think that he's ever going to shut up anytime soon, I guess he's the match for the Mouth That Roars. I hope you enjoyed it. Get his book. It's absolutely fabulous. Don't start the revolution without me. Let's all try to encourage him as much as we can to run for office.
Book, Don't Start the Revolution Without Me, former governor of Minnesota, Jesse Ventura, your first appearance. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing great.
Hi,
Alan. Nice to see you. Nice to be here.
All I want in politics, now when Republicans are right, I support them. When they're wrong, I fiercely oppose them. I probably disagree with John McCain maybe 35, 40% of the time now. When President Bush, who I like a lot, and you don't, when I disagree...
I did.
I know you did, because you're right. But when he's wrong, I disagree with him. I want everyone to be that honest. I agree with you.
Okay, good.
Let's start the revolution.
There we go. I'm ready.
Lower taxes?
Yep.
Less government intervention in our lives?
Yep.
Individual responsibility?
Yep.
Secure our borders?
No.
Oh, keep them wide open so enemies can come in?
No, enemies come in. I don't get the fact that the supposed enemies came in from Canada, so we're fencing off Mexico.
Well, don't our enemies...
How do we manage that? Shouldn't we be fencing off Canada?
Well, both.
Both?
Yeah.
I don't want to live in East Berlin, Sean.
I don't either.
I don't want to live in East Berlin.
But I don't want to live in a country where enemies can cross over at will either.
I look at it this way. We're losing our rights because of the Patriot Act. I would rather, and as I say in my book, and I'm so crass to say, give me liberty or give me death.
I'm with you.
I would rather take my chances with terrorism than to lose my individual rights, which are vanishing every day.
You told a story in the book about you and Senator McCain that you would have run with him in 2000 if he left the Republican Party.
Yep. If he'd have quit the Republican Party and ran as an independent, I told him I would have joined him. I do not feel that way today.
I do. The one thing that I read in the book that I just totally found just alien to me is this idea that you believe in 9/11 conspiracies. That you...
Well, let me tell it to you this way. Why is it that when you ask any question about 9/11, you're immediately attacked?
I'm not attacking you.
You're not, but no, I'm speaking in general. I'm not saying you guys, but I've watched people get attacked. People have their credibility attacked. My problem is I look at it and I go, how can 2 planes knock down 3 buildings?
Pretty easy. Those are 747.
But there were 3 buildings that went down.
Well, there was a lot of fire and there was a lot of damage.
Well, first of all, jet fuel blew up at the start. Jet fuel is 4/5, and I don't want to stay on this. I'd rather talk other things.
Yeah.
But jet fuel is 4/5 kerosene. It doesn't burn hot. So using the analogy that it could melt the metal, then propane burns hotter. So if you turn on your camp stove for 3 hours, shouldn't it melt the grates? But it doesn't, does it?
I want to take one issue with...
It doesn't.
I want to...
And I just question...
He's going Rosie O'Donnell on me here.
And I do... You know, wait a minute.
That's Rosie O'Donnell.
Well, I know a little bit. How can they fall at the rate of gravity? Look, they fell at the rate of gravity in powder. They blew into powder.
But if it were true, a lot of engineers would have come out before that. I want to take issue with one thing. You actually had a talk show for a small period of time. They fired you.
No. They took me off the air and paid me for 3 years and bought my silence.
You said, talking about Fox and CNN and MSNBC, you said, all the stories come from upstairs. Yeah. Even though the host pretend it's them, you know, people need to understand. Bill O'Reilly, Sean Hannity, and the rest of them, they're not these individual rogues setting their own agendas. These guys will deny it and say they have artistic freedom. You're either going to call me a lot. I'm telling you.
Wait a minute. So, in other words, you chose to talk about Anna Nicole Smith for a month and a half?
No, well, we didn't talk about
only a moment left.
We talked about the news.
Hold on. Let me follow up on this 9/11 thing for a second. Did the government know ahead of time?
I don't know. I'm just simply questioning the fact that it doesn't add up to me. And I do know a little about demolition. I was a member of the underwater.
But you intimated in the book that the government somehow knew where they had a tip-off, and that who do you think knew?
I don't know. I really don't know, and I can't place blame, but I have a hard problem accepting the fact that never before in history has a steel-structured building fallen to the ground at the rate of gravity, and why would the main core beams not been intact?
And I want to move on.
How did they go down?
There's a lot to cover here in the book. We have a moment left.
Yep.
Corporate America and religious fanatics have teamed up, and because of that, we're on the brink of fascism.
We are in fascism, in my opinion.
This is a fascist country.
It's getting there, because if you look at what's happening right now, corporate America, I think, controls our government completely with our Democrats and Republicans. And you have, okay, let's look at the religion now. You got ministers coming out endorsing candidates. Well, at that point in time, shouldn't they lose their tax-free status? Because they're now a PAC.
You want to take away the tax. Who do you like for president?
None of the above. I wish that they would offer on all local, statewide, national elections the none of the above. So, and you laugh, but I'll tell you why. Here's why. What that says is I'm here to participate, I'm here to vote, but it's a vote of no confidence.
You have a scenario in your
what
book
they're
about
offering. And I think that there's cases locally, nationally, and statewide where none of the above would win. The other night they took a poll, and 15,000 people, the question was asked at the start of Larry King, should Jesse Ventura be running for president? 88% said yes.
Do you want to run?
What does that tell you?
You have a scenario in the book where you run.
Yeah.
Are you going to run?
I can't get ballot access. If you could get me ballot access in all 50 states and allow me in the debates, I'd not only run, I'd win.
Who would be your VP?
Right now, I don't know.
You have in the book Robert Kennedy Jr.?
Well, Robert Kennedy, I met him, and Robert agreed to that part of the book. He said I could do it, you know, because I asked his permission to do that.
So could there ever be a Ventura Kennedy ticket?
If Robert would quit the Democrats,
Hannity? You picked me first.
He wants someone a little more ideologically close to where he is, probably.
I'll keep him steady and level and even. He needs help with that.
We're going to put you a heartbeat away?
Whoa. You wouldn't choose Hannity.
But no, Robert Kennedy, I think if he would quit the Democrats and join me, could be very powerful.
Hey, Jesse, best of luck with the book.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Coming up,
all right.
A preview of a brand new segment that Sean will be doing this weekend.